This is going to be demo on camouflage print. This is my inspiration that I'm gonna use to help me to kind of like get camouflage closer to real one. You guys have a swatch, so you need to use your swatch. I'm gonna use my colors that I chose that are working with camouflage. Those are grays and greens. So I'm gonna start with the lightest color and quickly just going to put the base, which will work fine even if I go over my camouflage pattern, because my pattern is gray, so I'm gonna layer them on top. So I'm just covering the entire area in this green color. This is kind of my base. So I didn't mention because I thought it's already obvious. You need to put your pattern already in advance on your clothing. So whatever piece of clothing you're gonna do camouflage, just try to already draw in that pattern. So I did mine. Now I'm gonna use my grays and green to add to the pattern, and using the mapping I did for my specific camouflage. So every camouflage pattern is different, so there is no one specific camouflage. Basically, it's created to blend in nature for military people, and that's kind of what it is. It's just patterns that closely reflect this whatever terrain they're active in, and that's why a lot of times you'll see they're more darker tones, they're lighter greens, or more of a yellow green, so that will always vary. And also the shapes of camouflage will vary as well, because sometimes you have more of a pixelated pattern, like more kind of like Minecraft style, or you will have more rounded shapes. So again, that for fashion companies, that's like depends on fashion. For military uniforms, again, that depends wherever they are geographically. So I just put it my gray. I'm gonna add more of this deep what color is this? This is verdigris. I don't know what, it's kind of like grayish grayish green, deeper color. So this is also a good color for shade. So whenever I'm at the closer area where I need to do shade, I'm just kind of like doing that whole area. So with this, I just kind of mapped out my lighter colors because I want to have some sort of hint that there is camouflage. But overall, to make your work faster, you go all over with this darker tone, and you kind of start putting down your shadow areas, so that will allow you to have less area to cover in pattern in print. We've done it before, so I hope you guys remember. But this is a good way to kind of, you know, make less work for yourself, to not, you know, spend 1,000 hours. But I did those, you know, basic colors in the beginning because I want to still have that feeling. Okay, so now I'm gonna use a little bit deeper gray to kind of add more emphasis. And then now I'm going in and kind of making in lighter areas my camouflage a little bit more pronounced, the pattern a little bit more pronounced. So and again toning it down with my shadow gray. So now I'm going to use my pencil to outline a little bit and emphasize some areas. I'm just sharpening my pencil. And it depends again what kind of fabric you have for your camouflage. I'm doing it as twill fabric, so I'm gonna add twill pattern over it. So you'll see in a second I'm gonna start adding that. But right now I'm just gonna emphasize some just prints of camouflage that I have. My inspiration is more kind of blended with gray color, so that's what I'm doing in this case. Depending on what pattern you'll have, you have to kind of gauge yours based on that. I feel I want to add a little bit more gray because again my print has a little bit more emphasis on gray, so I'm just adding in a darker area, so it also will function as shadow. So you don't want to use the shape of your pants or whatever item you have. You don't want to flatten it, so that's why I'm leaving, you know, the middle part more highlighted, and parts that are closer to both edges, I'm gonna add a little bit more dark, so that kind of creates more dimension. Then I want to add a little bit more twill emphasis, which means I want to emphasize the seams. And here I have my seams here. I want to do a little bit of twill pattern with my ink pen, but I'm just doing it as a background because I'm going to add white gel pen, so I'm not doing it too much. Just gonna add it to the again highlighted areas, because when you have white and black next to each other, your seams, your twill will pop a little bit better. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm adding a little black. Now I'm gonna add a little white in a highlighted areas to have that twill effect on pants. Yeah, and now I want to just kind of highlight a little bit of seams with gel pen, and because I already have the dark, I'm just going right next to it with my gel pen to pop the seams a little bit better. I feel I can emphasize a little more. I'm just cleaning up some areas because I feel it's kind of a more tailored look to this pants, so I want to make it a little bit more structured. That's why I'm just cleaning it up a little bit more so it doesn't look too loose. But if I wanted more of a looser look, meaning like lighter kind of rendering, I would have left without like so much marker emphasis. So this is the camo kind of concept, and depending on your fabric, you will have different varieties.